Hello, everybody. My name is Fake Thriller, and today I'm here to talk a little bit about Battlefield 4. But more specifically, I'm here to reminisce on a video I did a few weeks ago where I told you guys my top 5 dream features for Battlefield 4 and what I my top 5 things that I wanted to see in the game. And I'm sort of going to recount those one by one, and based on the information that we have now from E3 and the alpha trial and so on and so forth, I'm going to elaborate on those 5 things and say whether or not we're getting them or what it's looking like. So we'll get right into it. Number 5 was Spectator mode or Battle Recorder. Now, this has been all but confirmed, unless something horrendous happens and Spectator mode is taken out of the game. It looks like we got what we wanted. Now, we got what we wanted in terms of a spectator mode. We don't have a battle recorder confirmed yet, which, you know, they could be holding things up their sleeves. But I would honestly, I think spectator mode probably took a lot of work. And to be perfectly honest, I don't know if I'd want an in-game built-in battle recorder, because those, it comes with such a price sometimes. Like Black Ops and Call of Duty, ever since they've implemented it, have always had issues with in-game lag and frame rate issues because of the behind-the-scenes game recording that was always happening. Plus, to be perfectly honest, from a YouTuber gameplay gatherer point of view, I always found theater mode to make people a little lazy. It's like, oh, don't worry, I can go back and get this in theater mode, and then it's always not 100%, and then you still miss your moments and stuff like that. So good news is good news. Spectator mode is in the game, and Battle Recorder maybe, but, I mean, honestly, with the new generation consoles coming out with built-in recording features, and everybody with their PCs, even NVIDIA graphics cards are getting in on the recording aspect and stuff. So everybody and their mom is going to have a way to record things. It just might not be a full-blown, in-depth travel around with a free cam and a replay type thing. But hey, we got spectator mode. So moving on to number 4, I asked for an expanded create a class customization experience. And while it's not looking like they've revolutionized the way the Battlefield create a class system or loadout system works, it definitely looks like they expanded on it. It looks like gone are the days of deciding between a bipod or a foregrip, and that's it. Or choosing a laser sight, a flashlight, or nothing. Which, like the PDWs in Battlefield 3, were severely lacking in the attachments department for a long time, and I mean they still are. There's just not that much there. Not that I'm looking for a lot of gimmicky attachments, but for the most part, it's just I wanted to see some expansion, and it looks like we got different kinds of grips coming out. We got different kinds of sights. We've got angled iron sights and all kinds of different stuff. Not to mention the flash grenades and incendiary grenades and so on and so forth. All kinds of different stuff going on. So that's a big thumbs up. Looks like they followed through with that. Number 3 that I requested was DLC rollout, a different plan. Because pretty much anybody who was really into Battlefield 3 got premium, and then it was the waiting game. Like, Karkin came out when the game was on fire, everything was going great, and then the next DLC packs came out, but each one subsequently failed harder, in my opinion. And I'm not saying each one was worse, but I'm just saying like there was so much anticipation building up to each one of the new DLCs that they couldn't possibly live up to what we were hoping for, because they took so long to come out between each other. A lot of this has to do with how long they see Battlefield 4 lasting in an overall life cycle, and they want to keep it spread out so they can keep everybody engaged long enough. But it's a fine line they have to dance with. If they spread them out too far, people lose too much interest in between, or put too much stock in the next DLC, bringing life back to the game, when it comes out, it just can't live up to it. So no real news on what's going to happen with the DLC. So far, it looks like the China Rising thing will mirror Karkin. I'm just hoping the later ones will be released more rapidly. But only time will tell. They're not really disclosing that information yet. And I'm sure we'll all know about it the second they do. Number 2 on my list was more game modes. Now, we saw a good deal of footage and everything, but to be perfectly honest, there hasn't been too much talk of game modes in Battlefield 4. All the standard ones, it's easy to assume, are there. And I actually just saw on a Reddit thread earlier today, and to be honest, I only saw it once, and it was... I just don't even remember the names, but people leaked the in-game files, I think from the alpha, or I don't know where the hell they got it from, but it's all like computer leet speak, like coding, and people seem to have uncovered 3 new game types, at least names for what appear to be 3 new game types. So I think it's safe to say that they're gonna come out, with more than just like 4 game modes that they had at the launch of BF3. Not to mention, I'm sure air superiority, and then there's this naval superiority that will probably be out immediately. They can't hold these game types captive anymore, in my personal opinion. I mean, absolutely they can do it if they wanted to, but I don't think it would be very smart for them to take away capture the flag and air superiority and tank superiority. They need to have those in at launch because it's going to feel like we're just going back in time and we're having things held ransom in order to get us to buy the DLC. So I'm hoping they launch with all that stuff and then some new cool game modes. And I know you guys you're going to hate me for saying this, but look over to Call of Duty. They got some good game modes that are high action and a lot of fun. And I mean, even Halo, go do like an oddball style game. I think that would be friggin' awesome. I mean, add free for all. It's easy. It's easy. Just get us the game modes. And I have confidence that they will. Now, the number 1 thing that I mentioned in my past video that I wanted to see was Dino mode. And this was twofold because as fun as a well-executed dinosaur mode would be, whether it's a horde mode or like people versus dinosaurs, I think the more important thing is putting in a dinosaur mode would show the fans that DICE and EA are listening. And I don't think anyone would disagree with me when I say that DICE and EA have been listening. Just based on what we've seen from E3 and the alpha and basically all the information we've had dumped on our faces over the past 2 weeks, show us that they're at the very least, they're making the same game that we all want to play. Whether they're listening to us or not, they're delivering on what we want. If it just so happens to be that's what they want, then that works out for them. But I honestly believe that they're listening to the feedback that we've given and are still giving. And if it was in the realm of their possibility to do, I think they would throw a dinosaur mode in Battlefield 4. And I don't know the name very well, but there was someone ahead of DICE, I think, was interviewed, asked about a dinosaur mode, and he said you'll have to wait and see. And that's a very PR answer, but I think they would squash dinosaurs out of the game. They're not going to sell games by making people think there's a dinosaur mode in the game. If they didn't want people to think it, then they would just squash it right away. They wouldn't waste time on dinosaur mode. But who knows? This is a long-running thing with DICE and all that stuff, so maybe they just want to keep the rumor going. They like being known as possibly having dinosaurs. But anyway, guys, I've rambled for a long time. Those are my 5 things that I wanted, and pretty much all of them have been granted, and the game is months away from being released. The only one that we don't know about is the DLC, and that's, we're not going to find that out until they announce the DLC, which, if they're smart, will be after the game is launched. So, guys, I'd love to know what you think of everything I've talked about. If you want to leave a comment down below, I'd appreciate it. And I'll see you guys later.